Welcome everyone to the Play Pouch podcast. This is our June 2026 monthly episode of what we've been doing, where myself, Alan and Colm this month are going to be discussing all the games we've played, maybe not that many. Any games we're going to play next month. I know me and Alan for sure are going to be talking about the same one on that one. And also what's been happening over the last couple of weeks in the gaming industry. There's a couple of big stories. None of them that positive, guys. We'll bring you positive stories when positive stuff happens, I promise. So we've got a couple of things to talk about regarding the last couple of weeks. So, Alan, Com, how are we doing, boys? How has your month been in the gaming landscape? Let's not get too heavy. How's your month been in the gaming?
Yeah, I think I've been spoiled, I think.
Yeah, you've been playing Star Fox, haven't you? I'm sure you'll be talking about that.
Oh, yeah, of course.
Com, anything good? What have you been doing?
I've had to go back to old games, minus obviously Resident Evil Requiem. I've had to go back to older games to thirst my appetite.
I think a lot of us have been doing that, actually. So, June 2026. It's the slow part of the year, games-wise. It's always been this way because the idea is meant to be, quotations meant, they're all meant to be outside, in the sun, in this heat, apparently. And not playing video games. So this is meant to be the quiet months of the year when it comes to the video game industry. Who wants to go first with what they've been playing? I think we might be having a lot of the same conversations as last month because I think most of us have been playing the same stuff. So do you want me to go first? Because I know for sure I'm going to talk about the same game. So shall I just get it over with? I will go first then. All right. I'm still playing Hades 2. Now, it's a long bloody game like the first one was because it's the kind of game where you got to beat it. I've actually lost count. Last time I spoke to you guys, I was complaining about the doggy boss, right, Cerberus, because I couldn't beat him. That's not a problem anymore. I now destroy him in under a minute. That's what happens in these kind of games. It takes you. It's repetition. It's putting the reps in. You learn the attack patterns, just like Monster Hunter games. You learn the attack patterns. You learn when to dodge. You learn your moments of opportunity. You learn about builds and stuff like that. So I've accumulated enough knowledge where I can destroy most of the bosses, even the two final bosses. I can still lose to them sometimes, but more often than not, when I get there, which is most of the time, I end up winning. So my success rate per run, I'm on about 80%. Like 4 out of 5 times, I now win the run. But even so, I don't know how many times I've got to actually win these runs to finish the game. I don't know. I must have done it. It must be coming up to 20 times at least. And I still haven't finished the game. There's still more. So at some point it is going to end, but I don't know what more I've got to do other than just continuously beating the game. Trying to use different builds and stuff like that and trying to do all these kind of optional side quests by winning with certain weapons and doing stuff like that. But even so, there's still not a direct thing where I know how many more times I've got to kind of beat these two final bosses. So I don't know how far away I am from kind of being done with the game. I've got no idea. All I know is that I win most of the runs I play nowadays, but I still haven't finished it. But I love the game though. I do think it's an amazing game, just like the first one was. It's different. We spoke about this last month. I think me and you did, Com. It is different. But Supergiant, I think, are the developers. Yeah. So I think I've become a bit of a fanboy of their kind of games. So much so, I might have to go back and actually see some of their earlier work. Is it Transistor? They might have made, or is it Bastion? One of those two. Before they started the Hades franchise, which kind of made them a lot more mainstream. They had some earlier games, which is like a similar kind of framework to what Hades. Before they kind of, I guess, mastered it and obviously became big time with the Hades games.
I think it's Bastion.
Is it Bastion? I knew it was one of them.
Is it Bastion?
It's either called Transit or Bastion.
Supergiant Games.
Yeah.
Yeah, Bastion.
So I might have to go back and actually check out some of their older work and just to see, how the groundwork was laid for the Hades game. So that's generally what I've been playing, at least single player offline. Online, obviously, I've been doing a bit of streams, even though I've been out of commission the last couple of weeks due to my shoulder surgery. So I've been obviously I'm still doing XCOM, still Final Fantasy. I'm still be streaming that, and me and Alan have been playing some Resident Evil, which I've enjoyed. Resident Evil,
Yes,
but yeah, so for me, when it comes to what I've been playing, I've been kind of hammering just that one game. And again, I just don't know how much I've got. I could be that all I've got to do is beat it one more time, and then that will be it. I actually don't know. Or it could be I've got to win another 20 more runs to finish it. I have no idea how far into the game I am. I've got to assume I must be coming to the end because it can't expect me to, win. I told you, I must be up to 20 now, at least 20. So that's what I've been playing, guys. Right, who wants to go next? Short and sweet by me. There's only really the one game for me.
Yeah, go on. I'll go. We'll save Al to last because I think he's probably been there.
I know he's got at least something new. I know he's got at least something new that he's been playing.
Yeah. So obviously, I finished the Resident Evil Requiem game. I believe that was last month. I finished it beginning of the month, I think.
A while ago, wasn't it? Because you started Five Nights at Freddy's after that, and that was a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah, I think I had a couple of days gap. So, but yeah, so I finished that. Again, if you want to hear my thoughts and everything on that, go back to last month's episode because I think I probably said something in regards to that there. And I've been playing XCOM quite a bit in my personal time.
How are you getting on with that? Because obviously we did that little tutorial where I tried to show you the basics. How have you been progressing with the rest since then? Have you finished it yet?
No, I have. I'm just about to unlock the final Chosen.
You've killed two out of the three.
Yeah, I've killed 2 out of the 3. I haven't found the last stronghold yet. And I think I'm currently got what is it? What they're called now? Not recon missions, whatever they're called. I can't remember what they're called.
What you mean the covert operations?
Covert operations, yeah. That is currently finding the last one.
Yeah.
That I need, which is the Warlock.
I would say base game. He's probably the hardest of the 3, but you have to equip certain stuff to make. If you equip the right things, and I won't just flat out tell you, though I can if you want me to. If you equip the right things, you can make it kind of very much easier on yourself.
Yeah, I've watched you quite a lot. I've got. Yeah. I'm taking my Psi operative because it's like the most powerful thing I've got. Mm-hmm. And I've got mind shields and stuff like that.
You'll be fine. You'll be fine. If you've got mind shields is the item. If you've got mind shields on most of your guys, you don't even need it on every guy, but most of your guys, it takes away most of his kit.
Yeah,
you'll be fine. You'll be okay.
Yeah, so I'm playing that in my spare time, and obviously I started playing Five Nights at Freddy's, which is coming back very shortly. I need to do part 2. I've done the thumbnail. I will be starting part 2 after I've finished moving stuff around in my house. So yeah, look out for that. And that's been pretty much it, if I'm honest.
Quiet month for you then.
Very quiet.
Okay, before we get on to Al, and I know you've got stuff to talk about. Big up to Cooper in the chat who says, "Big up lads, out in the sunshine." He says, "Hell nah, hell nah, hell nah." I've been gaming my arse off. Yeah, me too, mate. Too hot for me, and I'm pale skinned, so the sunshine and me don't get on. Never have. Okay, Alan. I know you've got something new to talk about. I know you streamed it the other day. So we can start with the one what I know of. But before that, have you been playing anything else other than the one I did that you have streamed?
Yeah, I actually went back to Jurassic World Evolution 3.
Did you? Oh, right. So did you?
Yeah.
Did they patch it like you wanted?
Do you know what? Okay. I don't know. I went back to the same map where I'm having this limitation put on me. Mm-hmm. And it's still there. And I'm thinking, okay, that's a bit weird. Oh. I'm thinking I might have to start the map again for it to kick in, maybe. I mean, I've done another map since a different area, and I was able to put as much as I wanted on. So I'm hoping maybe they've actually patched it completely. Because who wants a limitation meter, for fuck's sake? You're building a park, for crying out loud. I never had this in Jurassic World Evolution 1, never in number 2. But all of a sudden, number 3, it's an issue. Why? It's all the same shit.
Probably because of the limitations of the consoles is my answer to you. I would imagine.
Well, not really, because Evolution 1 was out on the original Xbox One.
Yeah, but if graphically it probably wasn't as impressive, and maybe. I haven't played them, but
yeah, the graphics aren't any better. Not much, marginal, if that. But that's that, and I will get back to that because I need to. I will restart the map again, and I will rebuild it and see if I can do it. Which I probably should, because I've obviously unlocked more dinosaurs now, so I can probably pack my park out with a lot more stuff. Okay. Of course, there's obviously there's Resident Evil, which you and I were playing.
Yep,
a lot of fun. Yeah, we did Desperate Escape the other day, so it was great hitting the old Judas effect and the old polka dot drops, and you've seen you doing the Frankensteiners.
Oh, it's a lot of fun playing as Jill. I do really enjoy her moveset.
And then do the Alexa Bliss sort of double knee drop. It
was such a long time ago, Alan, that I think that the Alexa Bliss must have copied that. Somebody should message her. I would volunteer and ask her if she stole that move because she watched Jill do it in Resident Evil 5. Because Resident Evil 5 a long time ago. I'm trying to think when Alexa Bliss even started wrestling. Probably stole the move from Jill Valentine, Alan.
Probably. I won't be surprised if she did. I say, other than that, obviously I finished Bond earlier in the month. That was a lot of fun. It's a very, very good game. I can't help but think that I am a bit disappointed with the finale.
What, Bond?
Yeah, the Bond game. I think the end was a bit too video gamey, if you know what I mean.
What, the last boss battle? I mean, I remember you playing it for a while because it was a bit annoying, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was a bit annoying. But generally, in a Bond story, you defeat someone, they don't fucking come back. That's what annoyed me. Thinking, no, I've beaten him. He's dead. He took the classic Bond villain death, and that is it. I shouldn't have to come back at all. But there we are. But on the whole, I thought the game was very good. It's captured everything that you want in a Bond game. It's got the car chases, it's got the action, it's got all the spycraft to it.
Yeah.
So in that respect, it's a very, very good game. Very good game. And that moves me on to what I was streaming the other day, which is Star Fox on the I say N64. It's the N64 rebuild actually for the Switch 2. And that really brought back nostalgia to me. All the maps are there, all the music's there, the dialogue is there. I mean, Kuva put a comment up in the chat when I was playing it about one of the lines that Falco says. And so much fun. So much fun. The disappointing thing was I wasn't able to finish the game in that stream, which is a bit embarrassing. But if you don't have the tools going into the final mission, you've got near enough no chance of getting to it. You have to get there with all your top weaponry, and you have to beat the 4 other enemy fighters to stand a chance. Because if they take you out and you reset yourself, that's it. No chance at all.
I was watching you. I watched most of the stream that you played.
Mm-hmm.
I don't have the same nostalgia for it you do. I do remember it, but I certainly never had a problem with it. I think I even bought it. I think I probably owned it. I'm sure I did. Yeah, I'm sure I did. I'm sure I played it. But I found myself getting annoyed, and maybe this is just an age thing now. I'm wondering how you look at it with the constant nattering.
Oh, that's just the characters, that is.
I thought it was too much. I thought personally, I thought actually it was too much. I thought I thought it was happening too often. Was it always that way?
It was always that way. I mean, some of the lines have been changed. There's a line Peppy says when you're facing the thing called what's it called, the Gorgon, which actually never had a name. All the bosses never had names, by the way, in the N64 game. But this particular boss, the Gorgon. Peppy says in the original one, he goes, shoot the 3 energy balls. And they've actually changed that now to spheres.
Are you seriously what? Because he used the word balls?
I can hear the word balls in my head for some reason. That's the way he says it. Shoot all 3 energy balls.
That sounds like that sounds like something from South Park that I won't say. But you voice it in exactly the same word, the same voice.
So long, but yeah.
Give Monkey what she wants is what I was thinking.
I'm a monkey.
That's all right. I thought that's what I was thinking. I thought the game looked good, but I thought to myself, I thought to myself, if I were to play this game after maybe the first playthrough, I think the first playthrough I'd take it. Could I turn the voices off? Could I stop the constant? And I think maybe if it just came up as if you could maybe turn it so the pictures don't appear and like the voice is just there, I think I'd be fine with it. But I think it's a fact that the picture of the character and then the voice, the text kept on appearing in the middle of the screen, or at least the bottom part of the screen. Now I started to get a bit like, stop doing that. That's how I was looking at it, but that's just me.
No, didn't bother me. Because I said that's the mechanics of the game. That's how it's always gone.
Com, I don't know if you saw Alan's stream or not. Did you ever play? I'm trying to think. Would you have been on? Do you remember Star Fox when it came out? N64?
I remember. Yeah, I remember Star Fox, but no, it's not a game I ever played. Flying through a ship, flying in a ship, playing a Space Invaders but 3D version is not something that really interested me.
Right.
If I'm honest, I mean,
no,
good analogy. It technically is. Yeah, it's 3D Space Invaders.
Yeah, I mean, in a way, it is. I mean, like growing up, the games I played growing up were a lot more feet on the ground. I played like Croc Legends of Gobbo and all that kind of stuff growing up. So,
well, I remember it was. It's one of those franchises which is, it's a Nintendo franchise, but it's one of their franchises that I suppose you can say I don't know if you can say they've dropped the ball with, but it's certainly been quiet. It's been a quiet franchise. Like it's not like Nintendo did with Mario. Every Nintendo console, you get multiple Mario games. You get a Mario Kart. You get a Zelda game. You get a Metroid Prime game. And that's pretty much every single console. You get a version for, the next game in the series comes onto the next console. But when you think of Star Fox, it seems like it went quiet for a long time. I don't know why.
Yeah, the thing is, I actually didn't like the original Star Fox game, and I'll talk about the Super Nintendo one.
I don't think I remember the first one, dude.
Yeah,
Super Nintendo one.
Yeah, it's a Super Nintendo Star Fox. I didn't like it, and they actually made a sequel to it. Didn't like that either. The only one there was another one they made. I think they made it after the N64. I can't remember. I think it might have been on the Wii U. Never really played it because I thought Lilac Wars, aka Star Fox 64, to me was perfect.
I remember the N64 version.
Yeah,
that's the one I saw. Yeah,
that's what the Switch 2 one is a remake of.
Yeah,
because it just goes to show that that's the one that everyone remembers. That's the best one of the whole series, and people can correct me if I'm wrong, but I think including that game, there is only 4 Star Fox games.
Well, I just know that the Nintendo haven't treated it the same as, like I say, as they have.
Yeah, that's very true. Very true. Yeah. There's like a whole shitload of Mario games. You got Mario World, Mario Odyssey, Super Mario Brothers, Luigi's Mansion, Mario Kart.
Yeah, I don't. Maybe it's. I don't know.
You've got 10.
10 Star Fox games.
Yeah, there's 10 Star Fox games.
Wow. Okay.
There's Star Fox. Yeah, Star Fox that were in '93. Star Fox 64. Star Fox Adventures. Star Fox Assault. Star Fox Command. Star Fox 64 3D. Star Fox Guard, Star Fox Zero, Star Fox 2, and then the release of Star Fox this year.
So how many of them are on like the last 2 or 3 Nintendo consoles, the Wii's, I suppose?
Yeah, so Star Fox 2 was on the Nintendo Switch system.
Was that a brand new game? Or was it just an updated kind of?
Nah, it's just an updated, I believe. Star Fox Zero, Wii U. Oh no, sorry, So Star Fox 2, the one that came out in 2017, was on Nintendo Switch and the and the SNES. I'm not going to say its whole name. Then Zero was Wii U only. Guard was Wii U only. 3DS for Star Fox 64 3D. Nintendo DS for Command. GameCube was Assault. GameCube for Adventures, Switch, 64, Wii U, and the iQ player for Star Fox 64, and then obviously Star Fox, the original that came out in 1993, came out on SNES and then was ported onto Switch as well.
Yeah. I mean, I know they've ported a lot of their older games, but I don't know. It felt like maybe I'm wrong, but I just don't remember them being. Maybe it's just because I don't pay attention to Nintendo. Maybe. But I just don't remember them advertising. This is the first new Star Fox I remember in years, but according to what Colm just said, apparently it's been a lot of them.
Yeah. Wow. Well, just shows I don't follow Nintendo that much.
No, me either. They obviously don't do a particularly good job with marketing. At least maybe to older gamers, which maybe that's probably not their market. I mean, look, the Nintendo has always been more kiddie orientated. Let's be honest.
Yeah, that's a fair comment.
Yeah, it has been. So maybe it's not that much of a surprise that maybe me and Alan haven't been paying that much attention to it. So anything else then, Al, on your side, other than obviously Star Fox? Anything else? That's
really been it, really. I jumped into 2K every now and again, but no.
Yeah. Okay, so that's kind of what we've been doing in June. What we'll quickly do is talk about anything we're playing in the next month. Like I say, I already know me and Alan are going to be talking about the same game. So we'll start with you, Com, to see if you've got anything out of left field. Any plans? July, again, it's summer months. Not much comes out generally, not often in these couple of months. Is there anything coming out? Well, doesn't have to be something new, I suppose. I mean, what are your plans for the next month? We've got your eye.
Well, I'm going to continue Five Nights at Freddy's. That's my plan. And once I've done that, I'm actually going to 180 myself a little bit and going to mod some TGC Shop Simulator.
Okay.
Do that as well, but with actual Pokemon cards. Because why not? Everybody loves Pokemon.
I'm trying to wait. I'm waiting for an official, because I've only really played it on the Xbox. So I'm waiting. I do check every week or so to see if they do. Because obviously, people who don't know, when you fire up, because it's still classed as a preview, right? That's at least that's what it's called on Xbox. Early access for everybody else. There's like a checklist, isn't there, when you boot up the game of features that are meant to be coming. So it's like every week or so, I'll have a little look to see have they added a new feature yet? Have they added a new feature? And they never have. Like every time I check, it's been ages. I think the last thing they added was it tournaments? I think.
Yeah, tournaments were the last thing they added. Yeah.
And it's like, I realize it's a small team, but surely you've got to capitalize because this game kind of exploded a little bit. It has. I think it's dying down a little bit now, but a couple of months ago, loads of people were playing this game, much more than you would think. So I would have thought that if you're going to capitalize on a bit of momentum, do something now. Continuously upgrade it now. Put all your efforts into doing it now while it's at its hottest, because people have got short attention spans. People are going to move on. But there's been no more updates, so it's just like I keep going back. It's like give me an excuse to play a bit more because I've done everything there is to do. Yeah. Give me an excuse to play a bit more. Add something new, so maybe I could even start the shop again if it's something significant. I think there's stuff like difficulty modes they want to add. I'm not exactly sure how they could make it more difficult. I suppose they would just give you less customers. I don't know how they would actually make it more difficult. It's a very weird game where, Com, how would you've played it a lot? How would you make that more difficult? What would you do?
What I would personally do is make the market more volatile, just like in real life. Because anybody that does collect Pokemon cards or anything like that knows what the Pokemon card market is like. It's so volatile. 1 minute you've got a card that's worth £600-700, and then literally it could be a week or so later it's down massive. It's down by like 400% because it's already moved on. Maybe putting time schedule stuff in. Like new sets coming out, and like you've got all this stock. I don't know. I'm trying to think. Let's say I'm just going to talk about Pokemon and how they do it because it's probably the best way to do it. So they brought out something called Chaos Rising. It's their most recent pack, most recent thing that they've brought out. So everyone's gone mad for that, but they've announced that they're releasing another one now in literally, I think it's next week or the week after or something like that. So, the people that have bought all these Chaos Rising stock are now trying to shift that as quickly as they can so they can get the new stock in. Something like that, I think, would work quite well, if I'm honest.
I mean, the market does fluctuate.
I don't think it fluctuates enough.
There doesn't seem to be any reasons really behind the fluctuations. You know what I mean? I don't know about the mechanics under the hood, right? That determines the fluctuation. So maybe if they did improve, like they try to simulate, like you say, a much more of a realistic market.
Yeah.
Give me a reason. If something's, and it goes both ways. If something goes up in price or significantly jumped in price, give me a reason. Why has that just jumped in price? Give me something.
And the other thing that I've noticed with this is okay, so you can send cards off to get graded and they come back. You may get a card that's like £16,000, but it's never sat there for too long. Somebody comes in and takes it very quickly. And it's like, well, not everybody would have that kind of money. Do you know what I mean? So maybe if you've got a card that's sat there, if you go out, send your card off for graded, it comes back and it's a £15,000 card. Yeah, you want to sell it because you want the money, but I don't think you'd get somebody walking in half an hour after you've placed it on and go, oh, I'm going to take this card. It doesn't work that way in real. I think what I'd want is it's been more realistic than what it is.
It's not realistic because as somebody who ended up playing about 160 days or whatever it was before I actually unlocked everything, I ended up being multi-millionaire in about 8 months.
Yeah, and that's the issue. So that's never going to work. You wouldn't be able. I sell Pokemon cards, on the side, and you just don't make that kind of money at all.
I don't know exactly how they would add difficulty. I could see them maybe adding a kind of a. Can you even go bankrupt? I know you can go into the minuses, but what happens if you can't? You must get to a point, right, where you can't buy any more stock, right? You got no money, so you can't buy any more stock. So then what happens? I guess you just stop playing because you'll have to pay rent. You can't then pay any rent because you can't sell any stock because you can't buy any stock. So what happens?
I don't think anything happens. Genuinely, I don't think anything happens. So, I don't know. I think I need to see changes with that game for me to be really drawn back into it. I have played a lot of it, to be fair, but yeah.
It's a lot of fun, but I don't know. About replayability is not.
It's not. It's not. I mean, the only other game that I'm really looking at the minute is Dispatch.
I've told you about this one. I'm just waiting for it to come on Xbox. I mean, I know you can get it on the PC right now. I would.
Yeah. It's 20 quid on PC.
Yeah.
So
looks really good. If they ever get this censorship issue, whatever is holding it up, I think we spoke about this last month or the month before. Whatever that issue is still going on because the game's still not being released on Xbox, so it's still continuing. So until that happens, I'm not going to be able to play it properly, at least not yet. So. Yeah, mate, but let me know how you get on because I've heard nothing but good things about it. So
that's it for me, really.
Right, Alan, I know what me and you were going to talk about. So I'm just going to. I'll say the game. If there is another game that you're interested in over the next month, let me know. But in a couple of weeks, I think it's the 9th, so you're looking at about 2 weeks.
Oh yes,
Black
it is.
Flag. Remastered, resynced, whatever it's called, Black Flag.
I completely forgot about that.
Did you?
I completely forgot it was coming out this early.
I've pre-ordered it, and anyone who I've spoken about is anyone who knows me nowadays. When it comes to pre-ordering, it's like I more or less refuse 9 times out of 10 to pre-order games, especially in 2026. So I'm breaking my own kind of rules here. But that should tell you how much I've wanted. An up-to-date version. I will say I don't actually care that much about the remaster. I'm not against it, but I don't. It's not actually what I needed. I just needed a version that played up to date on the consoles. That's actually would have been enough for me, and I would have been happy. I don't think I would have paid 50 quid probably just because it now runs at 60. I think that would have been a bit much, expecting me to pay 50 quid just for that feature. So we'll have to see if they do anything else. But I would have been satisfied on a personal level if they just would have released a 60 frames per sec patch and maybe charged me, I don't know, 20 quid. I probably would have been like, you know what? I'll play through the game again. That's probably worth my 20 quid. But I'll play it on my more powerful console, on my 60 frames per second, on my 4K TV, and let me enjoy it, but keep everything the same. That's obviously not what we're getting. And I have heard some criticisms, not particularly from us three, but I've heard it, about that people think it doesn't look that good. When I say look that good, I mean graphics wise more than the actual overall game. So what are you guys' feelings on it? As I said, I don't mind because I don't care. I just wanted it to. If it runs badly, I will slate it massively because that's what I care about most. If it turns out that it's badly optimized for the Series X, and all I really wanted was just the base game at 60, then I'm going to end up really disappointed. And there is a chance that could happen. So I don't need the fancy graphics. I never did. But how do you guys feel about it?
Yeah, I'm in the same ballpark. I don't care. You know, it's been proven time and time again that a good game doesn't need good graphics. Look at, I'll always say State of Decay. I'll always point at State of Decay. Not the best game graphically, but it plays really, really well.
Yeah, God no.
And I've done Black Flag. I've done it on the 360. I did it when they re-released it on the Xbox One. Played it to 100% both times, and both times I enjoyed it. So yeah, I'm like you. I don't care.
No, I could not care. Black Flag. I have so many good memories of Black Flag. It is my favorite Assassin's Creed game. When I first ever started streaming back in the days of when I did do on Twitch, it was my first game that I streamed. I absolutely adore it. It's such a good game.
It is, and everything I've seen, I'm encouraged. I'm not going to say I'm 100% sold, but I'm encouraged. The combat, me and Alan have spoken a lot about this. Again, if I'm honest, I actually didn't need them to touch the combat. I would have been fine.
Yeah.
But my fear was, and me and Alan, I know definitely have talked about this. My fear was they were going to have, when we learnt about the remake, our fear was, oh shit, they're just going to put the new style combat into it, and it's going to be kind of a bad version of Dark Souls, which is what I think the new combat generally is. It's going to be a bad version of Dark Souls. They're going to try to be Dark Souls, which they can never be. They've never been able to get it to those levels, in my opinion. So they're going to throw that into the Black Flag, and it's not going to work because half the fun is going on the pirate ships, shooting the ships, and then boarding the ships, and then you get the fun combat. That's half the fun. That is why a game like Skull and Bones failed miserably. Because if it was all about just you sailing on the open seas, shooting ships, then Skull and Bones would have been a massive success. But it wasn't because they missed the other half of it.
But who's saying that this looks terrible?
I've just seen.
I don't think it looks bad.
I've just seen people.
Yeah, I'm the same.
I've just seen people who have just compared it, and it's a little bit mischievous because they've obviously taken certain screenshots from certain angles and said, compare this to this. And the picture I saw in particular, I can see what they were getting at, but it wasn't also the best lighting, and it was just a screenshot. It wasn't footage of the moving game. It was just a screenshot. And I think the argument was kind of be like the lighting wasn't as good in this one shot. The lighting wasn't as good in big up Com, lovely Com. That was the argument. The argument was that the screenshot was maybe like the contrast wasn't as good and stuff like that. I think it's a bit harsh, but I don't give a shit. I just don't look. I don't need it. It hasn't got to look like a next gen game. And like I said, the more prettier they make it, the more scared that I am, knowing the limitations of the consoles, which I'm going to be playing it on. PC, that might be different, right? It might be different on the PC, but on the consoles, knowing their limited juice, I care much more that it runs well because that's what I've always desired. So if that means I'm going to be playing on performance mode anyway, so it's not going to look the best no matter what I do because I'm 100% going to be playing on performance mode. So Thank you. Cooper in the chat saying the graphic issues aren't always about being worse in terms of detail and complexity. It's the ghosting, shimmering, and blurriness during camera movement. Okay.
No, but I'm sorry. Like, there's a clear upgrade, a clear significant upgrade.
There you go. See, look at that. Proper fleshed out characters.
See what I mean? You can see that there's a clear upgrade.
There you go. See, these people just hating for no reason, really, isn't it? There's a guy hating on Bond before a couple of days before Bond came out. He's like, "Oh yeah, the car can't knock cones over." Why are you not trying to knock cones over with the fucking car? Just drive the fucking car forward. Morons.
I mean,
one of the best things I like to do with Assassin's Creed, I don't know if you guys ever tried this, but is that if I see like a man of war passing me, I try and position myself that I can dive off my ship and then literally board it and then take out all the enemy troops on there myself. Oh, yeah. I used to love doing that. That's one of my favorite things to do, and then initiating the boarding sequence, and then it just goes straight to, oh, you got it. Well,
I played Assassin's Creed Rogue Remastered not that long ago, and even though it's a much smaller game, it more or less is just, and that did run at 60. So I kind of had that little bit of a momentarily kind of fix, I suppose, because even though it's not as good as Black Flag, the story's not as good as Black Flag. Kenway's, I can't even remember the dude you play as, is not as good as Kenway. So the story's not as good. The map's not as big. But the mechanics, the combat is very similar to Black Flag, and a lot of the ship battles are more or less. So it was like Black Flag DLC, really. But I'm okay with that. But the graphics in that, even though that was optimized to run at 60 and stuff like that, the graphics were adequate. So I don't. It's not what, as I think Alan said it. The graphics don't have to be that amazing for it to be a good game, and I don't see it as a massive deal. I understand what Cooper's saying, and he is right about HDR. I will agree with him on that. HDR can cause a problem. I'm at the point now nearly where I am turning off HDR for the majority of my games on my console. There's exceptions, but whenever I play a new game like Hades 2, I ain't got HDR on that. I turned that off because I think it looks too washed out. So but that's not always the case. On Final Fantasy, I've generally got it on. So it is game dependent. But I do understand a little bit what he means with the HDR. It can cause problems. The HDR, I agree with that part. Well, that's what me and Alan are probably going to be playing.
I don't know. I'm just struggling to see where the issue is. Like, I've got another picture of the old versus the new, and it just looks so much nicer. Like, just so much nicer. Where is it? I mean, you can't tell it that doesn't look better.
Yeah, so much more definition.
Well, of course it does. Yeah.
You know what I mean? But each to their own, you know. Everyone has got their own taste and whatnot. But yeah, it's a game I'll play.
Like I say, I just care about how it runs. All I care about is how it runs with the new, obviously, graphical fidelity to make sure that it doesn't tank the console. And though the combat, I think, is going to be better, I still need to be sold a little bit on it. I have heard some criticisms about the parry system, for example. People have made, I've read a couple of stuff online. Apparently, the parrying window could be too generous. What does that mean, too generous? I guess it just means that the combat's might end up being too easy. Is that a thing that people care about? I don't know. It's one of those games where it's not like an XCOM game or a Dark Souls game. It's not meant to be. It's not meant to be a game of like significant difficulty, right? Which is meant to be a slog, and you know there are games that are like that. But Assassin's Creed games have never been significantly hard games where, you know what I mean, you fight against these boss and it takes you 10 attempts to beat the boss and you've got to look. Do you know what I mean? There's plenty of games like that, and I don't have a problem with games like that. And sometimes I like those kind of games. But there's also power fantasy games. That's how I'll describe them to you guys. A lot of the Assassin's Creed games are power fantasy games. It's about running through buildings or running up buildings, doing this funky parkour, jumping on a bunch of guys with your hidden blade, and then fighting off a group of 10 of them at once. Is it realistic? No, of course it's not realistic.
No.
But that's not the selling point of that series.
It's bloody good fun.
Yeah, exactly. It is. It's just good fun. But yeah, it looks like the combat system is the new combat system, not the old.
It's a blend of the new and the old.
See, what I'm reading here is that it's been revealed that a completely rebuilt combat system that ditches the original button tapping for a modern lock-on with perfect parries, dodges, and stamina management.
Yeah, so the way that I've seen it is that the parrying system triggers the chain kills. So the chain kills were a big part of the original, the early Assassin's Creed games, where you would chain one kill into one kill, so it'd be like one-hit kills, right? And I think that's what people liked. And so what they've done is that they've kind of gotten rid of the Batman-style system, as it was kind of known, because that was the first game that did it, was the Arkham Asylum games. But if you do a perfect parry, it literally starts a chain kill. So it's a way of you fighting like 10 opponents, like I just said, and being able to kind of do these kind of stylish kills into different kills, which was obviously so much fun. So that's what I mean. It's a kind of it's a hybrid of the two. So I'm not 100% sold on it, and I won't know for sure until I start playing it. It could be that I'll play it and I might end up thinking, shit, I wish they just would have kept the old system. There's a good chance I might feel that. I doubt I'm going to think this is better. It's whether or not it's going to be as bad as I thought that the new style is going to be. Because Com, you played
Valhalla.
Valhalla. That's what I mean. I thought Odyssey was okay. I thought it was okay, but Valhalla, I thought the combat was just too. Was just no. I thought that was too loose, if that's the word to use.
Yeah, it is. It's very loose, but I think the Valhalla game. Because I completed Valhalla, I quite enjoyed the game itself. The combat system is very, very loose. Don't get me wrong; it's very loose. But I think that was basically the fantasy, because it is you going into places and there's 15, 20 people there, and you do take them out, whether you got axe, sword, whatever. It is they literally built the combat system for you to live that fantasy, that power fantasy, and that's what it was.
Yeah.
So I didn't think too much into it. I was like, yeah, okay, it allows me to kill, 7 guys very quickly, and I can move on to the next 7 that's waiting for me just over there. I didn't really mind.
I think it's a style of game, and I don't think there's a massive demand to make Assassin's Creed this incredibly difficult game. I do remember there being criticisms of the early. I remember it, that there were certain people a certain group of people who were like, well, I like the game, but the combat's too simplistic, because it was kind of one button. It was kind of one button. You press the button to counter, and more often than not, you counter and kill. So it wasn't just it was a counter, a kill. So it ended up being you press one button, then you press one button. And it was a system, like I say, that the Batman Arkham Asylum used to great effect. And Assassin's Creed took the system. But there's a group of people who really disliked that system and probably were cheering when the new combat system was introduced. I can tell you that me and Alan weren't. I don't think obviously we were hanging out at the time, so I don't know what your initial reaction when they switched from the old style. The last old style combat was Black Flag, wasn't it? And then it was Origins, was the next game after, and that was the one where they introduced the Dark Souls light combat. Was Origins, which is the one set in Egypt, if memory serves.
Yeah. If you remember sorry, Con.
Sorry, go on, mate.
I was going to say, if you remember, they actually put the original combat, and I do mean the original combat, they put that into Unity.
Oh yes, Unity came after Black Flag. Yeah, so that must have been the last one, right?
That was a buggy mess, that game.
Yeah.
It ended up being a good game. You're right. It was a buggy mess, but once they actually patched the shit out of it, it actually isn't that bad.
Yeah. And I'll start combat.
I mean, I like I like the old style combat more than the new style combat, obviously, because I grew up, playing Assassin's Creed 1, 2, 3, Black Flag, Jesus, Brotherhood. I grew up playing them, so I like that. And obviously, I played the Batman games, and I like that combat system, as well. So, but I mean, it's going to be interesting to see which way they go with the combat system. I think we can't really judge at the moment because we don't know.
Yeah, it's on my. It's a concern of mine. I think I'll be able to handle it, but in a perfect world, if it was made just for me, I probably would just have the old style combat. But it's not made just for me, so it's kind of like, am I compromising? Well, of course I am. It's not being made for me, but it's just like, can I live with the? I didn't want the new combat. That part I already knew, and I'm not getting just the new combat. I'm getting some kind of a hybrid. Whether or not the hybrid works well, maybe it will, and maybe if the hybrid works well, the new Assassin, whatever the next game is, I can't remember the name of it. Maybe that will be incorporating a little bit of a blend of both. Because I don't think the new combat. I know Com said about Valhalla, but there is a group of us who don't particularly like the new combat either. So it's kind of like, okay, so half the fan base doesn't like the old combat. And then you've got the other fan base who did like the old combat. You don't like the new combat. So then you're not pleasing everyone. I mean, it's difficult to please everyone anyway. But surely there's a much more of a middle ground we can come to. So maybe that's why I'm thinking, okay, maybe this is the first attempt, which is what it would be, at this kind of middle ground, keeping some of the old style and then adding a bit more of the new style. But whether or not they get it right the first time, I mean, that's got to be a realistic concern. If this is their first attempt at this new hybrid system, if they don't get it right the first time and it needs tweaking, that's not going to help this game. And that is a realistic concern to have. I think that is a fair concern. Like, okay, they might have an idea, but are they gonna nail it the first time of asking? Who knows?
Yeah, maybe. I mean, I don't know. Maybe it's because I didn't mind so much because the combat system a little bit more like other games that I've played as well. Maybe that's one of the reasons why.
Big up to Kiwi says, I'll get to you. I'll quickly mention Ryan. Yes, we are doing the watch along in about 10 minutes on No Sell, Ryan. The stream's up, mate. So join us for that in about 10 minutes. We are covering Night of Champions, and wish us luck. We're going to need it. Kiva says older games relied heavily on creative, stylized art direction because of technical limitations. Yep, the transition to modern photorealism makes a lot of games look generic and lacking character, in my opinion. And then he's angry at himself because he used an American spelling. Bless him. There's actually not long left, so we're probably not going to have enough time, unfortunately, to go over all the big stories. We'll choose one. What do you want to talk about? Do you want to talk about Xbox going crazy with their prices, the Steam machine prices that me and Com just spoke about before the stream, or do we do probably the most popular one, which is the GTA and their lack of disc and all this stuff? I know Com's not excited about that, but somebody
fuck you GTA, fuck you Xbox, fuck you Steam machine.
That's Com's contribution. Alan, any thoughts on any of those stories?
Well, neither of them are good. They're all bad news for anybody. It's either shitty. Actually, no. Okay, all three are basically shitty corporate decisions, and that's the commonality between all three stories.
Okay,
shitty corporate decisions.
Here's where I'm going to disagree. I think the worst offender of these three is Rockstar.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't. No.
I don't think there's much difference between Rockstar and Gaybox.
Let me explain why. Okay, very quickly. We haven't got long. I'll quickly explain my stance on it. So Xbox put the console up because the cost of RAM's gone up. The Steam machines, you're not telling me that Valve, when they initially announced this, right, before the world's been going AI crazy for a couple of years, but before the RAM shortage happened, right, before the prices went bonkers like it has done now, when they announced the Steam machine, if you asked them privately, they probably had no intention of pricing this thing the way it's been priced. They probably had no intention. They probably 100% wanted to keep it under $1,000. Probably, I imagine the small version, probably they wanted maybe at the £800 mark, and maybe the top version with the bigger hard drive, max $1,000, if even that, right? And even that's a tough ask. But they've been forced into it, which isn't their fault, because of the RAM shortage. And that is the same for Xbox. I think if you ask Xbox, despite them being douchebags in a lot of ways, which they are, I don't think they wanted to raise this price, but they literally are losing a lot of money on these machines because of the RAM prices. So that's why I'm giving them half a pass. Whereas with Rockstar, what is the reason with them? There's no shortage of what? They can't make discs. There's shortage of plastic and stuff to make the discs. So what's their excuse?
No, I can tell you exactly what their excuse is, Tequila. I can tell you exactly what their excuse is. They don't want you going out there, buying the game, playing it, getting bored, and then going, oh, well, I'm going to go and trade it into my local CEX. Because you can't trade in something that's not there.
That's why they're worse. That's why they're actually worse than Xbox and.
No, yeah. Now I've read it. I'm like looking at some stuff and reading into it a little bit. And yeah, no, I'll agree. GTA, Rockstar are way worse. Way worse. The fact because what's happening here could physically start off the demise of secondhand games.
They've been trying to do that for years, Colm. We all remember when Alan remembers, I know. Me and Alan watched it live. You remember when they announced the Xbox and the original thing was there, they weren't going to have discs? And then PlayStation, I think it was on one of the E3s, PlayStation came out the next day in their presentation and ran this little commercial about lending your mate games. And they took the piss out of Xbox. This was young. This was like nearly 10 years ago now, probably. So they've been trying to get rid of used game market for 10 years. So
no, it's the decision to do this.
Man, it's bullshit. I agree.
Is corporate greed, 1,000,000% corporate greed. Because, right, I know we obviously don't live anywhere near each other, but let's say I had the game because I was like, oh, let's play the game, and then you're like, oh, do you mind if I lend it you? I can give you that copy, and then you don't have to pay for it because you've got a copy that I've lent you. Whereas now, everybody that wants to play it has to buy it. Which means more money for Rockstar because they are money-grabbing little shites who don't do anything apart from money grab. You know, GTA 5, well, the story was okay, and then you had to go online, and then you're purchasing stupid in-game currency. Shark cards for ridiculous amounts of money, and then there's like you can buy freaking houses and all these other kind of things. Yeah, it's ridiculous. And then the start, I'm pretty sure, I don't know, correct me if I'm wrong, because it has been a very long time, but I'm pretty sure you could start buying cars with actual real life currency.
Well, I know I think you had to buy. There was a currency which the shark cards were used for, and I think you're right. You could use that currency to buy stuff in the game. I mean, Star Citizen's doing it as well. Sorry, Pete, but they are. So I mean, this is a whole new thing. It's going to get worse and worse. Yeah, I mean, as I said, I actually think I consider Rockstar the biggest villains of the three. On this occasion, I got no love lost for Xbox. I got no love lost for Valve either. Right? I'm not a fan of either one of them particularly. But on this occasion, I think Rockstar. I think it's less necessary. I understand, even if I dislike it, the rise in prices. Because the machines cost more to make, which isn't their fault. It's other people's fault of the RAM shortage. Because of all these AI data centers that are getting built, right? So until that market stabilizes, whenever that is, and it could be years off, if you hear some of the experts are saying it's years off, it's the same if I go and buy a new PC. That's going to cost me £500 more than it would have done a year ago. So,
yeah. But just going back to GTA, like, Ryan's saying obviously he's going to be buying shark cards. Okay. You're going to be paying £70 for the game and you get 1 month of GTA Plus subscription, which auto renewals, by the way. So you're going to be paying that on top. Then you're going to be throwing money at them for shark cards. These guys are going to earn so much money just off of people that want stuff and don't want to wait. You know what I mean? Because you can do heists. There's other ways to make money in the game and stuff like that. And it takes a long time. I know it does. And the shark cards are the cheap, not cheap. They're the easiest way to do so. You know, I get that 100%. But when you're paying nearly $100 for 8 million GTA money or whatever it is, you know, and you can buy a couple of nice cars, what then? You need to load up another 100, another 8 million when the next stuff comes out and the next. So people are going to be spending, obviously, like I said, 70 quid plus whatever the GTA Plus subscription is. I don't know how much that's going to cost. People are going to be spending thousands of pounds.
The thing is, it gets even. The GTA thing is not even just about the lack of physical media. I mean, that is a problem because, as Com said, you can't trade it with your mates. You can't sell it to CEX. You can't sell it on eBay. What if you don't like the game? I know it is unlikely because most people know what they're going to get, right?
Tough shit.
But, yeah, tough shit. So you spend 80 quid. You can't even get a penny back. Like you literally can't get 1p. You can't unless somebody wants to buy the box. You might be able to sell the box to somebody for 1p. There you go.
Maybe
you might get 50p for the box. I'm sure somebody wouldn't mind having the box. You might get a 50p for the box.
And that 70 quid is the base version. It's not the limited. It's the base version.
Yeah. It's 90 quid for the Ultimate Edition, isn't it?
It's crazy. It's stupid. Honestly, people are going to be paying that much money for something that you're going to be stuck with forever. By the way, you can't trade it in. You can't get money back. You can't. Once it's ran its life cycle and the fiends take over and all that kind of stuff like certain people do, which is why I stopped playing it because I just can't be bothered. You can't do anything. You can't do nothing. The game's there forever. You can't trade it in. You can't go put it towards a new game that you might want. It's just there forever.
It's a shitty business practice. They can't defend it. I don't think anyone really can defend it. Now, people might not care, and that's okay. Some people don't give a shit. Some people who are going to like it anyway. And I'm not taking shots at anyone because people are allowed to like what they want. If you know for sure you're going to love the game, and if you know for sure you're going to be playing it so much, you're going to get your 90 quid, by all means. I'm not telling people how to spend their money, by all means. But there's going to be a whole bunch of people, especially on the poorer side, who will struggle to put that money into a form of entertainment when bills and everything are as much as they are nowadays, who might think to themselves, well, I wouldn't mind buying it, playing it, and then I can sell it in a month and get half my money back. That's been taken from you. It's not me. You're not given the choice. And anytime they take choices away from you, it's anti-consumer. And there's no good reason for it. That's the problem I've got.
The other problem I've got with it, and I know we're running out of time because we need to go onto the wrestling stuff shortly. Yeah. The other problem I've got as well is you're spending this much money. What happens when they shut the server down? Because they'll make GTA 7 and they'll shut GTA 6 down. You cannot do anything.
Unless they release I suppose they'll allow you to play it offline. The single player game anyway, I'm assuming.
Yeah, but once you've done that, that's it. Once you've done it once, that's it.
Yeah, I mean, you might play it again at some point throughout its lifespan, but I don't think it's going to be the kind of game where it's going to have that much replayability because it's going to be a very linear story. So, no, I agree. But Alan, anything to say quickly? Because we've got to go switch over.
Not really. While you guys are chatting, I was just trying to see how many copies it sold since its pre-order. I can't seem to bring up the number. But
no idea. They'll make shitloads. It won't stop the sales. We already know it won't. It won't stop.
Apparently, for every one copy that Xbox has sold, 6 people have bought it on PlayStation.
I'm not that shocked. That's why Xbox are screwed.
And it's apparently both PS5 and Xbox versions have sold out on Amazon US. I mean, why? You're buying a fucking box with a code in it.
Yeah, there's literally no reason behind the physical copy.
I'm getting emails from Game Collection, Shop 2, Curry's. Oh, pre-order GTA 6 now.
Yeah.
Why?
Oh, 50 million.
50 million copies. There you go.
Yep. 50 million copies. It's already generated before the game's even come out. An estimated over 4 billion in sales.
And what makes it not scary? Well, I guess scary if you want to look at it. That's not enough for them, because if that was enough for them, they would have allowed you to trade in the game. But they want every single piece. And Alan will like this quote, every penny's worth you. I can't say the last part. They want every penny's worth.
Yeah.
Every penny's worth.
I know Ryan there is saying there won't be a GTA 7. There will.
What?
There will be a GTA 7.
About 2040 there'll be one, yeah.
Oh, it will be 10 years away, but yeah, there will be.
Yeah, so there'll be about 10, 12-year gap between this one and the next one. They've done San Andreas again already with GTA 5. Because that's basically it was San Andreas. You could see CJ and everything like that if you want, or his clone. They've gone to Vice City.
Yep.
They've still got Liberty City to go back to.
That is probably where they'll go back on 7.
So that's going to be number 7.
Yep. Well, okay. Well, we better head off to so come join us, guys, on No Cell, where I think we're actually going to miss the King of the Ring final, which I know we're all so disappointed about. No, we'll head over there now. So yeah, do join us on No Cell if you like your wrestling. Anyway, do join us probably in a couple of minutes because I've got to get it ready for live coverage of Night of Champions from the WWE. But I guess that's it for another month, guys. So thank you again for joining us. I think we're looking to maybe turn this into maybe a weekly show, a shorter show, but a weekly show where we can maybe cover the week's game news rather than plonking it all in 1 month. But we're thinking about it, but we'll let you guys know if we do turn it into a once a week show going forward. But yeah, thanks again for joining us. Thank you again to my comrades in arms, Alan and Com. Say goodbye, gentlemen, and we'll head off.
Goodbye, gentlemen.
Ta-ta.
Ta-ta. Yeah, join us in a couple of minutes on No Cell for your wrestling fix.
Yeah.
What a maneuver. Don't say that, Com will get upset. Bless him.
Yeah, just don't.
Yeah. Thanks again for joining us, guys, and we'll see you soon. Take care, and bye for now.